Is making waves this week after a recent stand-up comedy special by Seth Meyers included a skip button for anyone who didn't want to hear any jokes about politics. So should the skip button be made more widely available, or should people just deal with it? Cast your vote right now at 12news.com/bullhorn, or you can comment down below if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. The results just minutes away. Hashtag most clicked. Here are the stories piquing everyone's interest right now. Up first, new details on a former Mesa public school bus driver who slammed on the brakes last month, sending an elementary school child flying into the windshield. We now know that the cops arrested Jamie Tellez back in 2012 for firing a rifle in city limits during an argument with her adult sons. Tellez took a plea agreement which dropped the felony to a misdemeanor. Mesa Public Schools says Tellez told them about that incident. Number 2 most clicked, suspended Maricopa County Assessor Paul Petersen is appealing his suspension. The Board of Supervisors suspending him late last month in the midst of being charged in an international adoption scheme. Petersen is facing more than 60 charges in 3 states and is now out on bond. Number 3, if you've lived here long enough, you know driving in a dust storm is no fun. Some stretches of I-10 between here and Tucson can be especially bad. So ADOT is completing a project to install sensors, message boards, and cameras to create a dust storm detection and warning system. And remember, even though we aren't in monsoon right now, dust storms can happen any time of the year. Only on 12 News. Around the country, families are connecting through ancestry databases. New family members are being discovered, and sometimes family secrets are revealed. In Colorado, one family secret is now being exposed in a lawsuit that accuses a doctor of using himself as a donor to artificially inseminate unknowing women. Tram joining us with one family's shocking discovery.
That's right. This story comes to us starting in Colorado, but has expanded across the country and was devastating to the children who learned they had so many half-brothers and sisters living all over the U.S.
2, 1, Happy New Year!
It was New Year's Day, a few weeks after she had taken a DNA test, that Maya Emmons first got a shocking message.
So I opened the email, and it was from a woman saying that we were a close familial match and were likely half-sisters.
And the other person's father was a sperm donor.
And I just lost it. I started sobbing. I'm thinking my dad is not my biological father. It was devastating.
So Maya turned to her own family, asking her parents whether it could be true.
And then my dad, who's very quiet and reserved, says he kind of interrupted her and said, "No, yes, we did use a sperm donor to conceive you and Tawny."
Bam. Yep. Our world got turned upside down, more or less.
And the shocks kept coming. Ancestry kept finding matches. Half siblings, each like Maya and Tawny, with the same DNA of the same unknown father.
I was like, oh, well, this is interesting.
There's Crystal McFeeters, now living in Oregon.
We finally ended up with a brother and then some more sisters and then another brother, and we're like, well, this is kind of weird.
Had no clue.
Ryan Gray, now living with his wife just north of Denver.
It was very weird. It was very weird to see that.
Straight outside of Rapid City.
Shauna Holtz, now living in South Dakota.
It was one after another, and we all have the same story.
We now know of at least 10 born between 1976 and 1997, and say their mothers visited what was once known as Gynecologic Obstetrical Associates of Western Colorado and sought fertility assistance from Dr. Paul Brennan Jones of Grand Junction, Colorado. As Cheryl's obstetrician, he even helped deliver both Maya and Tawny. She says Dr. Jones told her he used anonymous sperm donors for both. But this lawsuit filed last month in Colorado alleges Dr. Jones, quote, used his own fresh sperm to artificially inseminate Cheryl Emmon.
My kids are the ones that are hurt the most, and I'm sorry. I didn't know. Honest to God, I didn't know.
Can I show you something?
Dr. Paul Jones is now 80 years old, and when asked by a Denver reporter, refused to give DNA.
Would you give a DNA sample?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't want to have any incriminating evidence against me.
Now that litigation is still ongoing, but Dr. Jones has given up his medical license as the court case continues. He denies any wrongdoing. Now back to you.
12 at 12 likes to save you money. Deep discounts are coming to 2 Arizona stores, but sadly it's because they're closing. Sears is closing its store in Prescott, and K-MART in Lake Havasu City is also going to close. Their parent company is closing 96 stores across America. Going out of business sales are slated to begin in early December, right before the holidays. The stores will close by February. Well, we sure could use some February temps to feel a little bit more like fall, but that's not happening this weekend. Crystal joining us with the forecast 411.
So much to do, so little weekend. 86 degrees on the golf course for the Charles Schwab Cup Championship. A mixture of sun and clouds in Scottsdale for the Canal Convergence, featured a fantastic display of art, water, and light. 86 degrees for the Veterans Weekend Powwow at ASU West. If you love bluegrass, this festival's for you in Wickenburg, 86 degrees. More sunshine than anything in Cottonwood, 80 degrees. Walking on Main from 11 to 5. Then put the pedal to the metal to head over to NASCAR. That race begins at 1:30. Clouds hanging out overhead in Phoenix for the Grand Avenue Fest. That kicks off at 11 o'clock. The Chuck Wagon Cook-Off in Chandler from 9 to 5. It's free to get in. Great Western food and history. And only 7 weekends to go before Christmas, so head over to Show Low for the Santa and the shops on Gingerbread Lane, 64 degrees, 84 degrees for a maximum in Tucson, to get your jam on at the Dusk Music Fest from 3 to 11.
Time for your daily juice. Kristen Bell is talking about the highly anticipated Frozen 2 and why she's on pins and needles awaiting the premiere in a couple of weeks.
Again, in my desperation to show my kids I'm cool, I told them everything about the plot like 2 years ago. And then it occurred to me, oh, I'm in breach of my contract. So I signed an NDA and I did not have them sign NDAs. So I'm 2 weeks out from the heart palpitations of them spilling the beans and Disney suing me. So I've got 2 more weeks to go, and then I'm no longer in breach, so I'm very excited that the movie's finally here.
That's awesome.
Kristen also talks about her upcoming Disney Plus series called Encore and how she's most proud of the project. That's today at 3 when Ken Jeong guest hosts Ellen, only on 12 News. More juice. The Rockefeller Center tree is on its way to Manhattan. Crews chopping down the spruce tree in Florida, New York, that is. The tree is 77 feet tall and weighs 14 tons. It'll arrive at Rockefeller Center tomorrow. The tree lighting ceremony is on December 4th, which you'll see only on 12 News. It's NASCAR fall weekend at ISM Raceway. We're talking 4 races in 3 days starting today. But there are more reasons than just this weekend to make ISM a regular pit stop. Nat showing us why in today's A to Z 60.
Matt Uris here, hanging out at ISM Raceway in Victory Lane. On a race weekend, more than 100,000 people will roll through here, and there's stuff to do even when there aren't races. Let's go find out.
Scott Round, VP of Sales at ISM Raceway, talking about all the fan experiences.
Food and beverage experiences. Fans get a chance to participate in the garage area and see the cars being worked on and touch the teams and see the sport really up close.
Speaking of up close, race watchers are going to get a full sensory experience.
You literally feel the rubber?
Sure, for sure. Yeah, actually, because I mean, you got 40 cars out there and they're going fast. That rubber's grinding on the racetrack.
We gotta sit higher.
This track is also one of the only ones where fans can celebrate with the winner in Victory Lane. Not a race weekend, no pre-race RVing to be done, all good. There's still stuff to do like Segway tours or check out Zoom lights around the holidays.
You're out here and you get to see all the fancy light shows. You actually get to do it on a racetrack, which is pretty unique.
And for fans, the view at the raceway will be completely unmatched, from Mother Nature to man-made.
And that's your A to Z 60.
We are officially 1 week into our growing awareness campaign. 4 of the guys here at 12 News are growing their beards out for No Shave November. The campaign is a friendly competition to help raise money and awareness about men's health. So we're asking you for help to raise money for Prostate On-Site Project. It's a nonprofit that has 2 mobile prostate screening units that travel all across Arizona. You can donate by heading to prostatecheckup.org. Make sure you include who you want to support. At the end of the month, we're going to crown our winner, but let's all do our part and help grow awareness for this Men's Health Month. Back to today's talk. Our late night talk show host Seth Meyers has a new comedy special on Netflix and kind of had a clever idea to add a skip button, allowing you to avoid any political content if you choose. So, should more shows have this kind of feature, or should we just deal with it? Well, right now, 54% of you are saying, nah, we don't really need that button. And 46% of you say, yes, we do. Keep on voting on 12news.com/bullhorn. And for those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, you can always comment down below. Time now for the look ahead, the stories you'll be talking about a little later on today. We're speeding toward the busiest travel season of the year, and one travel service says right now could be the best time to book your flight. How you and your family can save money on your holiday travel. That'll do it for your 12 at 12, the facts on everything you need to know in just 12 minutes. No commercials. We're always on, anywhere, anytime on 12news.com, the 12 News app, and on our socials as well. We'll see you again soon.